I've lived in California for a long time. Like most Californians, I've had the privilege of enjoying unlimited sunshine and miles of golden beaches. So for me, it's hard to imagine a life without the modern comfort. Although America is the dreamland, some had to wake up from shattered dreams. When Katrina hit in 2005, many of us realized how vulnerable we were. A few days ago, we had to live through that same nightmare again, when 8 people died in Florida after Hurricane Irma cut off the AC and the power. Before the hurricane hit, we saw the evacuation. During the hurricane, we witnessed the destruction. And after the hurricane, we suffered the devastation. For the first time in history, 3.5 million Americans are homeless. It is hard to imagine a worse catastrophe than when Hurricane Harvey and Irma hit. But we were spared the worst of the damages because of all the preparation and all the evacuation orders that had went into place. However, people in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands were not so lucky. They had no way to get out before the hurricane. And after 90% of the islands were destroyed, they had no homes left. So what can we do to help them? They are American citizens with no voting rights, so they have no congressmen nor senators fighting for them in Washington, D.C. Of course, that does not mean we can watch them suffer. So when the current administration refused to waive shipping restrictions, also known as Jones Act, senators from other states and the media jumped in to help. There were many people calling that lift irrelevant. But if you can't lift a finger, at least lift the ban. So we can't blame you for not doing enough. Now the ban is lifted in Puerto Rico, and hopefully it is not too late to help people that are still in need. But how can you send enough to help 3.2 million American citizens in Puerto Rico and 100,000 U.S. citizens in the Virgin Islands? It is comforting to know that the U.S. Navy finally decided to send its hospital ship, the USNS Comfort, to Puerto Rico. Comfort has 1,000 hospital beds and will arrive around October 4th, which is 15 days after Hurricane Maria's visit. Is the help come a little too late? No, it is the help they desperately so need and they will finally get. It's not enough. Because Maria came with a $95 billion price tag, and Puerto Rico is already bankrupt. But we can't blame the U.S. government for not doing enough. They had 3 hurricanes to deal with in less than 1 month. Plus, our president had to worry about the North Korea crisis, the NFL patriotism crisis, and repealing Obamacare. But if we do not do the right thing, the cloud over the Atlantic can be a huge storm. Why do I say that? Do you know that a 77-year-old victim of Hurricane Harvey just died yesterday from a flesh-eating bacteria? Power in Hurricane Harvey damaged areas that are mostly restored, but we can't save her. Can you imagine what will happen if that patient was in Puerto Rico? There would be no place to get treatment if anybody got sick. Even if they find gas to get to the hospital is most likely without power. Even if they find a hospital with power, there most likely will not be a bed for them there. Don't forget, just last year we had a serious Zika outbreak in Puerto Rico. We fought it off, but will we be so lucky this time? How can we fight a disease with no resources left? There is nothing but trouble left in the island. Maybe you think it's only Puerto Rico's problem. Then think again. Puerto Rico is not Mexico. Although they do speak the same language, every U.S. citizen in Puerto Rico can move to any state in America and vote. If we do not make their island habitable, 120,000 may move to their closest state, which is Florida, which may decide the next presidential election. Or maybe 20,000 will move to Maine, the state with only 3.7% unemployment rate. How about 12,000 to Michigan? That will wipe off President Trump's margin of victory. or 69,000 to Pennsylvania. If we do not do the right thing quick, a new person may be moving to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue soon. So what can we do? Let's face the fact that the whole island is gone. There are roads to be fixed and homes to be rebuilt, but there is no power, there is no money. Puerto Rico needs food and water and medicine, as well as shelter and cell phones, and first and foremost, they need jobs. Many business owners have told me how difficult it is to get qualified workers. Do you know Florida's unemployment rate is at a 4.1%, and that was just before building needs after Hurricane Irma? Texas stood at 4.3% unemployment, but now it is probably below zero. There must be a great demand for workers to rebuild. Why not hire workers from Puerto Rico? I know we also need to rebuild Puerto Rico, but realistically, people can't rebuild their homes when there is no running water nor electricity. Homes can't be rebuilt when there are no banks, there are no finance or construction institutions. People living in shelters only burden the rescue effort when they could be making things better if they are moved away from the island, right? Although only 10% of Puerto Rico residents speak English, their literacy rate is at a 99%, and they are U.S. citizens. If you hire one, it's great for them and it can be great for you. Government should subsidize such hiring since every dollar Puerto Ricans make is every dollar freed to help another one in great need. If you or your business has something to offer, post a comment. Of course, how can I ask for your help when I only sit on the sideline? If you have a video or a picture about the hurricane stories, post a link. And if I like your story, I'll ask for your permission to use the next in my documentary. I will pay $5 for each picture and $50 for each video if I use your footage. You can also be listed as a co-writer on that film. I know it's not much, but we can all make a difference if we all work together. This is Marissa. Thank you for watching.